Today on the newscast, Iran and Russia teaming up to build an attack drone factory inside Russia. Plus, what is Ukraine asking of Israel in the run-up to a major visit by a top Israeli official this week? Find out next. Hey folks, Eric Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast. We've got some major developments on the Iran, Russia, and Israel-Ukraine front. But before we get into that, we just want to ask for prayer for everyone affected by that horrific earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria overnight. Now, folks, this was a 7.8 magnitude quake, the most powerful quake to hit that region in at least 100 years. And as I come to you around 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, February 6th, some 2,500 people are dead, thousands more wounded and missing, and you have to think that those numbers will only increase as search and rescue teams go through the rubble. By the way, in very nasty weather conditions, freezing, snowy, again, rubble everywhere because whole buildings collapsed. Israel is sending a search and rescue team. Turkey's fellow NATO member nations are also sending search and rescue teams. The quake was felt as far away as Israel and Cyprus. So this is a developing story, folks, that we will keep you updated on. But please pray for everyone in those regions in Turkey and Syria right now who were affected by this quake. Many aftershocks as well, including a 7.5 magnitude quake earlier this morning. So please, please keep that in your prayers because they really need it there right now. Okay, moving on, we have a bit of a geopolitical earthquake right now with that Iran-Russia relationship, which is growing, folks, to very troubling lengths. Not only that, Ukraine making what could be called demands of Israel in the run-up of a visit which will likely come this week by Israel's foreign minister, Eli Cohen. We're going to break that down in a second. Before I do, just want to encourage you to subscribe to the Watchman News channel right here on YouTube. Give us a like, click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted every day, Monday through Saturday, and sometimes on Sunday, depending on the wild news cycle in the world's most chaotic and strategic region, the Middle East. We're breaking down the Middle East, also China, Russia, Latin America, the United States, and how it all matters to you and affects you no matter where you live. So be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you here with us as watchmen and women on the wall for such a time as this. And it is time for Iran and Russia, if a recent visit by Iranian officials to Russia was any indication, to build a brand new attack drone factory. I want to get the name right here, in the town of Yelabuga in Russia, some 600 miles to the east of Moscow. Now, the Wall Street Journal reports that last month, a delegation of Iranian officials, members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps' Quds Force, visited Yelabuga. They toured this facility with their Russian counterparts, and they agreed to build a major drone factory right there inside Russia, a joint Russia-Iran project, which over the next few years will produce at least 6,000 drones. Now, these drones will be faster and able to travel greater distances than the current Iranian drones which are being supplied to Russia. That is the Shahed 136 model. Iran has already supplied at least 2,000 of those to Russia over the past few months, which Russia has used to attack Ukraine's power grid, its infrastructure, and civilian targets. These are called kamikaze drones, suicide drones, whatever you want to call them, but they're packed with explosives and they hit a target and they detonate it. These are unmanned aerial vehicles. It's a quid pro quo. You got to think Iran's not doing this. Iran's leaders aren't doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. All of this help to Russia. Number one, Russia perhaps, would it help Iran with its nuclear weapons program? Number two, we know that Russia plans to send by March, by next month, dozens of fighter jets to Iran, and Russian pilots will apparently train Iranian pilots on how to fly these fighter jets. We also know that there are persistent reports that in addition to the drones, that Iran may very well supply Russia with ballistic missiles to help replenish its stockpiles. Hard to believe that that Russian invasion of Ukraine was almost 1 year ago, folks, February 24th, 2022, and Russia now needs to replenish its stockpiles, and they've reached out to Iran and reportedly North Korea as well. That's where this is all moving. But the biggest part of this quid pro quo we've reported here in the newscast, I could say we've kind of speculated. You have to think that the Iranian regime has asked Russia to stop all Israeli activity in Syria, to put a stop to Israeli airstrikes against Iranian and Hezbollah targets inside that country where, listen, remember, Russia has thousands of troops stationed in Syria right now, aligned with Iran and Hezbollah, shoulder to shoulder on the battlefields there. Russia essentially controls the skies over Syria, but Russia and Israel have had this so-called deconfliction mechanism where Russia stands aside. Israel gives Russia fair warning, hey, we're coming in, we're going to carry out some strikes in Syria. Russia stands aside and allows Israel to do what it needs to do to weaken Iran and Hezbollah inside Syria. You have to think at this point, folks, that Iran, for all it's doing for Russia, is nudging Russia and saying, hey, we want something in return, and we want you to shut off the skies over Syria to Israeli fighter jets. You have to believe those conversations have gone on and continue to go on. And as Russia and Iran just come closer and closer together and more reliant upon each other, you would think those conversations will only intensify. That's not good news for Israel. And it comes at a time when Israeli Foreign Minister Eli Cohen is primed, apparently sometime this week perhaps, to visit Ukraine and meet with top Ukrainian leaders, including the President Zelensky. Now, Ukraine is making some interesting demands, reportedly, according to various Israeli media outlets, in the run-up to Cohen's visit. Number one, they want Israel to denounce Russia, and they want Israel to denounce the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Number two, they want a $500 million loan from Israel. And number three, they want Israel to share anti-missile technology with Ukraine. So will Israel do that? We'll see. You would think that Ukraine needs Israel right now more than Israel needs Ukraine in a geopolitical sense. So how far is Israel willing to go? We've reported here in the newscast, and Israeli officials have made clear they don't want to rock the boat when it comes to Russia. Israel does not want to get in a very tense situation with Vladimir Putin's regime. The relationship is really unraveled already over the past 11, 12 months. But Israel, bottom line, folks, wants to maintain freedom of movement in Syria. And that is why Israel hasn't come out all out on the side of Ukraine against Russia. They don't want to anger Vladimir Putin and have him shut the skies over Syria. We shall see. Again, Eli Cohen soon, the Israeli foreign minister, top official in the government, will be visiting Ukraine. And Russia's not going to be happy as it is, folks, that an Israeli official is visiting Ukraine, by the way. That will cause tension, although Cohen held a call early on when this new Israeli government came into office in late December, held a call early on with Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, and that angered Ukraine. So Israel is in a very delicate position right now between Russia and Ukraine, amid rumblings, by the way, that Benjamin Netanyahu could potentially play a mediator role between the two countries. The plot thickens, folks. We will have all the breaking updates for you here in the Watchman newscast. Again, please, please pray for everyone affected by the earthquake across the Middle East region. They truly need it right now. Until tomorrow, thanks so much for watching. God bless you, and remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications for new Watchman newscast episodes every weekday.